Now at 6 o'clock, a live look from North Portland as over 100 nurse practitioners, physician associates, and other providers at local legacy hospitals hit the picket lines. It's a strike that is just underway this minute. The latest on their negotiations coming up.
And the city of Salem issues a state of emergency because of ice activity in the area. We have more on the decision by City Council and reaction from Salem residents coming up.
Today is also Giving Tuesday, a 24-hour fundraising push for nonprofits. So this morning we're highlighting a few, including one local organization that's asking for help so it can keep serving warm meals to people in need. KGW, the 6 o'clock hour of sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Tuesday. I'm China Green.
Giving Tuesday.
Giving.
Can't forget it's Tuesday. All right, how about these two? We have Rod Hill, we have Chris McGinnis. Rod, we start with you here and a look at the Tuesday forecast.
Yeah, cloudy skies out there. It's warmer. Yesterday we were talking about frosty conditions. This morning most of you are right around 40 out the door. And remember, weak disturbance to bring showers last night into this morning. That is coming true. Scattered showers are light. Story, you've actually had some reports of some light moisture falling from a low cloud deck down in Salem. But what radar is picking up is mainly near Portland up to the north and then meandering itself along Highway 26 up into Mount Hood, where snow levels are at about 4,000 feet, but just light precipitation. So not expecting any difficulties there. We have good visibility on all of our cameras this morning. There's Salem live, 42 degrees, that more comfortable temperature. And good look at downtown Portland, 44. Some rain showers being reported out along the Columbia right now. So to the bus stop we go. You may choose a rain jacket. Some light scattered showers mainly out the door this morning. By noon, it's really pretty dry out there. 46 degrees, cloudy skies. Kids get out of school. About 48. Not too bad. Here's Chris.
All right. Thanks for that, Rod. Let's take you up to Clark County. You got a fender bender right now near the on the Main Street on-ramp to northbound I-5 right there. Looks like maybe a little bit of local slowing getting around that. That's northbound. The southbound I-5 drive still looks great. This is at the Interstate Bridge at SR 14. Again, a few more cars on the road there from our last check, but no major trouble there. And a quick check over on the west side. You can see the dampness on the road there from overnight rain. This is Highway 26 near Skyline Boulevard. Traffic still zipping along just fine there. So far, guys, mostly so good on the freeways.
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here at 6 o'clock begins with this live look from North Portland. Just 2 minutes ago, more than 100 advanced practice providers at legacy hospitals hit the picket line. So this strike involves nurse practitioners and physician associates, among others, at Legacy Good Samaritan and Legacy Emmanuel hospitals. The Oregon Nurses Association says this group has been trying to reach a contract agreement with Legacy for nearly 2 years at this point. Legacy Health, on the other hand, says it's already offered a 10% pay increase and says it will continue to bargain with these workers in good faith.
We are the capital city of the incredible state of Oregon, and you are its leaders and supposed to be the trusted adults in the room. It is your job to identify the needs of the community, and when you don't, then you must listen to those hurting and act decisively.
Dozens of community members spoke at Salem City Council meeting last night, calling for an end to ICE arrests using tactics they say are unconstitutional. In a 6-3 vote, Salem has passed an emergency declaration over ICE activity. This vote comes after Washington County and the city of Hillsborough both declared a state of emergency in response to ICE detainment and enforcement last month. The declaration in Salem directs city leaders to consider starting programs to protect community members and calls for training of city employees on the sanctuary law. It does not direct city funding to support immigrants, though that's something that people asked for at last.
When we are being kidnapped and disappeared, symbolic proposals do not protect us. Material ones do. We need a financial investment to support the victims of ICE.
The council voted last week to reaffirm the city's support of state sanctuary law, which bars local government from assisting in federal immigration work.
We're hearing from the family of a Vancouver man who says federal agents detained him on Thanksgiving. They say Luis Exchop was making food deliveries in Vancouver on Thanksgiving morning along with his partner of 10 years, Brenda Coronado. According to Coronado, they were pulled over and ICE agents arrested them both, even though she says she does have a green card. Coronado says she was eventually let go, but the agents kept Exchop, who does not have legal status.
They were like just laughing, saying, "Happy Thanksgiving." And I turned around and I was like, how is that going to be a happy Thanksgiving? How is that? You're taking my other half. you're breaking us apart.
Ex-Chop's family says he's been in the hospital because of his blood pressure since his detainment. They also say he has a DUI on his record from years ago, but claim he's had no other run-ins with the law. We reached out to ICE for comment about this, but haven't heard back.
Meantime, authorities in Washington County are reiterating a pledge that they don't participate in federal immigration enforcement and do not ask about immigration status. Their statement reads in part, quote, "No one should live in fear of calling the police. When people are afraid to report crimes or testify because they worry about immigration consequences, our entire community becomes less safe. And the people who commit harm are empowered," end quote. The Law Enforcement Council consists of the DA's office and the Sheriff's Office, as well as several police departments across the country. The National Guard soldier who was shot and wounded last week is what authorities say was a targeted attack, showing signs of improvement.
Officials say Guard members Andrew Wolf and Sarah Beckstrom were ambushed last Wednesday while on active duty a few blocks from the White House. Despite his improvement, Wolf is still listed in serious condition. Beckstrom, meanwhile, died from her injuries last week in the hospital. Investigators say they were shot by an Afghan national, you see him right there on your screen, who was living in Bellingham, Washington, and had previously worked with the CIA in Afghanistan. He was also shot during the attack and remains in the hospital. He'll face charges that include first-degree murder. President Trump paid tribute to both Guard members last night during an event at the White House.
I have another one who's fighting for his life, as you know, and he's a fabulous young man, highest. Both of them were the best everything, the best of their class, the best of their class. And maybe he'll be okay. He's going through a lot, but maybe he'll be okay.
Yesterday, police in the nation's capital were assigned to patrol right alongside the National Guard members deployed there in D.C.
Portland Mayor Keith Wilson says he's reached his goal of adding 1,500 shelter beds by December 1st. During his campaign, Mayor Wilson pledged to end sheltered homelessness. In a video statement, Wilson said the city must now, quote, channel its energy into long-term solutions. The beds are spread across multiple sites citywide with the opportunity to increase capacity. More locations are expected to be announced in the coming weeks.
Changes are on the way involving how much people have to pay to run for city office in Portland. So starting with next year's election cycle, the cost is going up to file for the offices of mayor, city councilor, and auditor. There will also be a simplified waiver to remove the fee for candidates who qualify as low income. Anyone who collects 500 signatures from Portland voters can also have the fee waived. And there are also plans to periodically increase candidate filing fees based on inflation. Today is Giving Tuesday, an annual event that serves as a day-long fundraiser for nonprofits.
This morning, we're highlighting one local organization that's asking for help to continue feeding people in need. Libby Dowsett joins us live in Southwest Portland with more on their story. Good morning, Libby.
Good morning. Well, Potluck in the Park has been serving warm meals in downtown every Sunday for more than 3 decades. This is the center right here where they prep all that food. Now, the one problem they're facing is how to afford all the forks, knives, plates, and cups for up to 500 people who often show up for the food. Multiple grocery stores help provide not yet expired meat, produce, and bakery items for the weekly meal service and those willing to stand in line for the Sunday event. But Potluck in the Park still needs donations for cutlery and serving supplies to help hand off those meals as more people come back week after week.
You know, we have a lot of guests who will frequent us every Sunday and then take a break and then come back and say, we're so happy you're still here. So.
And it's back in the walk-in.
According to the Potluck crew, since 1992, they've never skipped serving a Sunday meal. They prep the meals right here at their kitchen and storage facility, and they make sure to have enough to keep up with the growing need in downtown, which they expect to only grow in the coming months. They are also preparing for their annual Christmas Day dinner at the Portland Art Museum. They have a big tree, some turkey, some jazz music playing. They say anyone is welcome, and all you have to do is go down there from noon to 3 on Christmas Day. Back to you guys.
Libby Dowsett reporting live for us this morning. Thank you, Libby. All right, before we get to Rod and his Tuesday forecast, we have a travel warning for you because getting through the airport security is about to get more complicated and expensive for passengers trying to travel without a real ID. So starting in February, passengers 18 and older will have to pay $45 and use an ID verification system called TSA Confirm ID. That's only if you don't have a real ID or other form of accepted identification like an enhanced ID or passport. Before going through TSA, you'll have to go online, apply, and pay for the fee. You can also pay at the airport, but you may be waiting an extra half hour. If approved, it will cover a 10-day period, and then you'll have to do it all over again.
We had a real ID experience traveling back from Philadelphia.
Oh, here we go.
I will say this much. The TSA agents in Portland are way, 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 way nicer than the TSA agents in Philadelphia. I mean, they just had some attitude in Philly at 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. But the bottom line of the story is my sons now have to show their real ID because they're 18.
Yeah.
Right? They just turned 18.
Oh, yeah.
And so my first son goes through, and then the second son is waiting there. Now, I've already gone. I'm starting to put my bags on the line, and I hear the guy say to my son, why do you have the same name as your brother? And I'm like, of course they have the same last name. So then I walk back there and he's like, what? And he goes, why do you have the same name as your brother? And he goes, what are you talking about? He goes, you both have the same name? It was this whole ordeal. Then my other son has to come back. Like, no, they don't have the same first name. They clearly have two different names, but I think the twin factor confused the heck out of this guy. And he thought that they were showing the same ID for two different people. Anyways, they have their own IDs. They have different first names. I don't know what was going on, but man, it delayed the whole line. They made us feel like we were doing something wrong.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
It was bizarre, Rod.
You know, my daughter, 18, this has happened twice. Now she just takes her passport. For whatever reason, the photo on her real ID isn't being registered properly at airport security.
As her?
As her, yeah. There's some error in the photo that's on her real ID, apparently.
Interesting.
So she has a passport, so she's just taking that now.
Yeah.
But
Not always as smooth as we would hope it would be.
Yeah.
apparently not. You know, if they ask me, are you really Rod? I'm going to go, yes. All right, here's our satellite radar. We've got clouds moving in. We've got showers. The bullseye of moisture right now is really nearing the Cascades of Washington, but there's some light showers around Astoria. Salem has been reporting some light rain. The radar is not picking it up. The cloud deck is mainly just a low deck this morning, and currently the folks getting wet are out near 205 and then off to the east. There's Troutdale Sandy, so this early hit of moisture is now migrating out into the gorge up to Mount Hood. No issues with Cascade Passes this morning. Been watching it because snow level is about 4,000 feet, but it's mainly just flurries up there. There's our Christmas tree from Pioneer Park building, the camera looking down at the square. 44 degrees, no wind, raindrop being reported. So again, you may choose a rain jacket for these early morning hours. Temperatures, some upper 30s. Most of us are 40. There's West Lynn at 41. Good morning to you. Salem's at 42, Almsville the same, and up in Aurora, good morning to you. 42 degrees is the temperature. Weather map for later today features some sun breaks here on the west side. Low 50s at the coast, upper 40s, 50 in the valley, and then some scattered rain/snow showers mixing. It would be really light precipitation out east with temperatures only in the 30s. 7-day forecast for you. 48 today, clouds tomorrow, 48. At least a chance of some light rain late tomorrow, but basically it looks like the rain picks up Thursday, and then it's wet weather pattern through your weekend, and that is your update.